What is going on, guys? This is your role model gamer Goonie here today to go over this pathetic joke of a team, the Chicago Bears, and their game today against Brady and the Buccaneers. My God, I first off, I gotta come on here and I gotta say I was wrong. I was wrong. A few weeks ago when the Bears won, um, I believe it was it was either the Bengals or the Raiders game. I'm not gonna look up. One of those two games, I came on here and said that we looked like we had it in us. We looked like we can contend. We looked like we could be a Super Bowl contender with the way the defense was playing, with the way the run game was looking. I take that all back. This team is not a playoff team. This team is not a playoff team. It's not. We got lucky beating the Bengals. We got lucky beating the Raiders. Today we got exposed for what we are, and that is frauds. The Chicago Bears football team is terrible. We are terrible. The defense, honestly, wasn't. If you look at the box score, the game was a blowout, 42-3. Um, yeah, it looks bad. My bad. Not 42-3. It was 38-3. It looks bad for the defense, but honestly, the defense just was out there time and time again. They couldn't. They couldn't help it. They would just keep on getting out there. Brady was given chances on their side of the 50 every single time, and Mike Evans was killing everybody. It was a rough day. But the one thing I will say is Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, you guys both need to go. For the last 2 years, the biggest thing that I've been saying each and every single week when I do these videos, the biggest thing that I say going into the season, the biggest thing that I say during the off season, every single fucking time is boost the offensive line. Look what happened when Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a decent offensive line. He looks terrible. He looks terrible having his worst year as the Kansas City Chiefs starting QB. And for some reason, it's okay when Patrick Mahomes does it, but when a Bears QB does it, it's the Bears QB's fault. It's not the fact that our playmakers aren't making plays. It's not the fact that our fucking linemen suck. It's not the fact that our coach is a fucking moron. It's the Bears QB's fault. They're sitting there saying, "Well, he's making bad reads." What the fuck do you want Justin Fields to do when in literally every single play, Latavius Simmons is getting beat off the line, and he has Jason Pierre-Paul breathing on his fucking neck by the time he fucking catches the ball off the snap, and then when he gets ready to throw, he fumbles. What the fuck do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? Seriously. And then on top of that, Tony Romo's sitting there. They're showing replays of the, well, they had receivers open. Where? Where? Nobody has any separation. Justin Fields, even if he throws it in a tight window, you know how many drops we had today? Cole Kmet was dropping shit. Darnell Mooney was dropping shit. Allen Robinson had a big fucking play down the field. Justin Fields made a beautiful scramble, somehow maintains his balance, chucks it up, and yes, Allen Robinson had to adjust to the ball, but when Allen Robinson turns to adjust to the ball, he just fucking falls and it's intercepted. And I'm gonna have people saying, "Oh, that's a bad throw from Fields. He can't put it there." So when Matt Ryan threw the ball behind Calvin Ridley and behind Kyle Pitts today, Kyle Pitts is a rookie. When Matt Ryan threw the ball behind them and they adjusted to the ball, it's not a great catch. Allen Robinson wants to be known as one of the top 10 receivers in the league. Make fucking plays. That's simple. Get separation. He had the second lowest separation in the entire fucking NFL going into this game. And you want to be paid top 10 receiver money? No. No, I'm repping you. You've been good for us, but no. Make the big plays if you want to make big money. That's simple. If you want to make big money, make the big plays. Darnell Mooney was dropping shit, man. That shocked me. I love Darnell Mooney. I love him, but he was dropping shit. It was embarrassing. Cole Kmet, this was probably his most involved game, and he fucked up in the first quarter, first fucking drive. We had potential to potentially get in a field goal range. He drops a fucking first down throw. Right to him. Just bobbles in and out of his hands. The only player on this team that I can sit here and say on the offense, because I do think Roquan had a good game, and that's it on the defense. Jalen Johnson got burned a couple times. He gave up a couple touchdowns. Eddie Jackson. What the fuck are you doing? Eddie Jackson, on a run play, fills the gap, but they have the receiver go to block. So as Eddie Jackson fills the gap and the ball gets here, he turns his body and starts running with the receiver for the block. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you had the gap plugged and then you turned. You turned and we're paying you a bag? For what? For what? And you wonder why people have issues with you, Eddie Jackson. It's not because you're a terrible player. It's the fact that you fucking scammed us. We paid you to make big time plays and you're not fucking making even relatively okay plays. You're just there. You're just there. If you're getting paid Deshaun Gibson's money, I probably wouldn't even be fucking talking about you. I mean, I could let that go if you're not making a lot. But when you're making fucking the most out of all of our safeties, of course I'm gonna fucking get on you. You were paid to make big plays. You dropped it and you had a chance at an interception and you fucking dropped it. Make the big plays, Eddie. Make the fucking big plays. And also, why the fuck is Danny Trevathan a 31-year-old fucking linebacker that's washed on a fucking coverage on a route on which Godwin is going to be meeting up with him? Granted, Trevathan ain't picking up no fucking tight end Cameron Brady. He's picking up Godwin. He's picking up like a 25-year-old fucking stud of a receiver that's in the top 20 of all receivers right now. Why the fuck do we think that was a good idea? Godwin came away with a touchdown. Seriously. How stupid or do we have to fucking be to put Trevathan in coverage? Everybody's sitting there and they're saying, well, he's one of the best coverage linebackers. I haven't seen it for the last 2 fucking years. What the fuck is he covering? Is he helping them cover the fucking spread? Is that what you mean by coverage? Because they fucking cover the spread 1, 2, probably fucking 3 times. Shit. They didn't cover it 3 times. Shit. The spread was 12. The spread was fucking 12. And they beat us by fucking 35 fucking points. They almost covered it 3 times. Jesus Christ, man. We fucking suck. We fucking suck. I don't even know what to say. I'm excited for David Montgomery to return, hopefully, whenever that might be. I'm excited for Tariq Cohen to return. Hopefully those 2 additions can bring some energy to the team. Hopefully we can somehow manage to scrap something out of this season and make it to the playoffs. You might be sitting here, what the fuck's wrong with these kids? They're 2-4. They can easily turn it around. Nothing has shown me that we can turn it around. We're averaging 117 passing yards per game. There's no momentum whatsoever. Why should I believe we're gonna turn it around? I haven't seen anything that suggests that just yet. I haven't seen a single fucking. They're 3-4, not 2-4. My bad. I haven't seen a single thing that now we're 3-5. But I haven't seen a single thing that suggests that, and a single thing that suggests that we can contend going down there. This was by far, and I'm counting the Saints game, which was a miserably coached game in the playoffs. I fucking hated that game. Matt Nagy's press conference after the game was miserable. I don't know, if you were on Twitter, you more than likely know the meme about Matt Nagy and his post-game pressers, that this season, the thing he's been saying is, we gotta figure out the why. Matt Nagy, I think I figured out the why, and why the fuck we suck. And that's because your fucking bald ass is still coaching the team. Fucking bald man's still here. And I'm going to continue to call him fucking bald man because I don't respect the motherfucker. You know who else doesn't respect the motherfucker? Bilal Nichols, Jalen Johnson, Allen Robinson. That's just the ones that we know publicly. Allen Robinson, he's fucking publicly just gone out and liked people's tweets that suggest that he shouldn't be a Bear last year. Bilal Nichols fucking punched a dude today. That doesn't happen with a coach you respect, because you want to be disciplined. You want to make sure you make your coach proud. Mario Edwards doesn't give a fuck. Mario Edwards doesn't give a fuck. He'll get a fucking 5 unsportsmanlike penalties in 1 game if you let him. Bilal Nichols doesn't give a shit. Fucking A-Rob doesn't give a shit. I don't know who the fuck gives a shit on the offensive line, because I couldn't tell you if they care. Eddie Jackson doesn't give a fucking shit. Eddie Jackson publicly fucking got mad and ended up kind of passively aggressively going at a Hall of Fame linebacker, Lance Briggs from the Bears, one of the best linebackers that's played in Chicago. He went at him for saying that he's missing too many tackles. Eddie Jackson can't take fucking criticism. And you know the sad part? The sad part is, meanwhile, we had the scapegoat Justin Fields up in there. Love the kid to death. Has he been playing good? No. But he's taking the brunt of this, man. He is taking the brunt of this. He is the fucking beneficiary of all this shit that goes on with Chicago. We are a fucking poorly ran organization with a fucking miserable GM that refuses every fucking year to get an offensive line. Every fucking year going into the offseason, I say, get a fucking offensive line. And they don't do it. They don't do it. They wait till the 6th, 7th round, hope that somebody strikes. Granted, they did get Tevin Jenkins. We haven't seen him yet. We have not seen him yet. But it's more important for Chicago to draft a guy like Cole Kmet than to draft an offensive lineman. It's more important for them to draft a fucking running back 3 years in a row than to draft one fucking offensive lineman in the first 3 rounds. Granted, I love the players. The players, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. But why the fuck can't we draft an offensive lineman? Why can't we fucking sign an offensive lineman? I don't give a fuck who it is. The one offensive lineman we went out and signed is a fucking 39-year-old that was on a fucking fishing boat at the time we called him. During the fucking preseason. Yeah, that's their idea. That's their idea of getting an offensive line together. Somebody that isn't in football shape at the moment, that they hope can be, and at one point in his career, probably 10 years ago, he was elite. That's their idea. That's their idea of fucking success. Has it worked for him? No. It hasn't worked for him. At this point, today should be a teller. It should be the final straw. Matt Nagy is not fit to coach in the NFL. He's proven it time and time again. He hasn't won a playoff game. He fucking coached a miserable game against the Saints. A miserable fucking game against the Saints last year. And then his post-game presser was even more miserable to add on top of that. And then he's came into this season and he's fucking done the same exact shit. He's putting his players in fucking miserable situations. The GM isn't bringing in anybody that can fucking help. Ideally, yeah, on paper, it seems like we got better. We got Demir Bird, who had a solid year last year. We had Marquise Goodwin, who at one point of his career was a legit number 2 option. We have Brashard Perryman, who's fucking lightning fast. There's only one issue with all these additions. We still don't have an offensive line. They don't have nearly enough time to get any separation whatsoever. You wonder why Allen Robinson doesn't have any separation. It's because we give him fucking 2 seconds. He has to break off the line, and he better be open in 2 seconds, or else Justin Fields getting sacked, throwing an interception, or throwing the ball away. One or the other, or fumble. That is your fucking decision right there. But please, Chicago, please let's continue to blame the QB, because not only have we had Justin Fields fail in Chicago, we've had Nick Foles fail in Chicago, we've had Andy Dalton fail in Chicago, and we had Mitch Trubisky fail in Chicago. I'm no rocket scientist, but somewhere along the line, that has to add up, and this guy needs to fucking go. Let's think about it. Matt Nagy was the guy that was supposed to develop Mitchell Trubisky. It didn't work out for him. Justin Fields, the guy that Matt Nagy's supposed to develop. And so far, we haven't seen progress from Justin Fields because he's been fucking running for his life every single play. Andy Dalton, at one point in his career, was a very solid QB, somewhat of, I would say, probably a top 15, top 10 QB in the league at one point. He was terrible. Then we had Nick Foles, a Super Bowl MVP. He was terrible. So not only do we have 2 rookies that Matt Nagy could not have show progress from each week, not only do we have that, but we have 2 guys that have proven themselves still fail. But let's continue to blame the QBs. Let's continue to blame them because it's always the fucking QB's issue. It's never the fucking coach. It's never the fact that we don't have a fucking offensive line. Latavius Simmons gave up, I think, 3 sacks today, 2 of which were fucking fumbles. He's getting beat by fucking Jason Pierre-Paul. Now, Jason Pierre-Paul is great, but the dude's wearing a fucking club on his hand, man. Fucking push him down, man. You let him slim move you with a fucking club on his hand. He can't even get around you. He can't power rush you. And you let him fucking beat you? Really? He's fucking beating you off the edge like he's fucking 25 years old again. Pierre-Paul's like 30-something. What the fuck are we doing, man? What are you, Latavius? You're like fucking 20, 24, 25, 26 maybe? I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. And then we're going to have another opportunity this offseason. And I already know where it's going. We're going to have another opportunity to get an offensive lineman. There's going to be somebody available. And we're not going to go after him. Instead, we're going to be complacent on keeping Jermaine Ifedi, bringing him back. We're going to be complacent on bringing Sam Mustipher back. We're going to be complacent on bringing Alex Bars back. We're going to be complacent on bringing Latavius Simmons back. And what we're going to do is we're probably going to add another fucking receiver. We're probably going to go out there and fucking get Jacoby Myers or somebody that's somewhat good, fast, can add to the receiving core, hypothetically speaking. And then we're going to go back onto the defense and probably get a Tashawn Gibson replacement who probably won't be that great. He probably won't be, if we're being honest. And we're probably going to just, from there, do whatever. It's completely time to restart. It's time to re-innovate. It's time to get this over with. The rebuild needs to begin. I know we don't have our draft pick. I know tanking is not a good option. But we need to continue to get Justin Fields snaps. But we cannot do that under Matt Nagy. We cannot do that with how bad this offensive line has been. If we have a situation like this again, with Justin Fields just getting sacked time and time again from a fucking defense, we got to put Andy Dalton in. We got to put Nick Foles in. We can't risk our investment out there in Justin Fields. We just got to get him to learn a little bit more, and we got to figure out who the fuck is going to be coaching him, because Matt Nagy is not a long-term solution. He is a pathetic coach. He has shown time and time again he is a fucking failure. And you might want to sit here and say, well, he won Coach of the Year. No, Vic Fangio won Coach of the Year. Vic Fangio won that fucking award, not fucking Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's name might have been on the award, but they didn't have a successful year because of Matt Nagy. That defense was fucking amazing in 2018. Who was there? Vic Fangio. As soon as Vic Fangio's gone, the defense turns back to shit. Now, Deshaun Desai's done a solid job with the defense this season. Today is an outlier of that. But I wouldn't be opposed to Deshaun Desai fucking coaching their team for the rest of the season. Fuck, I don't give a fuck who does it. Bill Lazor can coach the fucking team for the rest of the season. Shit, I will come out for free and coach the fucking team for the rest of the season. But this is not going to work. Matt Nagy needs to go. He's not going to be there next year. He shouldn't be there next year. Go get Pat Fitzgerald. Go get Brian Dabble. Get somebody fucking different. Because it ain't fucking working. That's simple. I'm embarrassed with how the Bears played today. A lot of what I was talking about in this video wasn't even about the fucking game. The game itself is a fucking joke. Just this video is much bigger than the game. There's a lot more going on in Chicago organization than just this fucking game. It's an embarrassment. We need to fix it. Matt Nagy, let's start with the head. Get him gone. Go away. And then we'll wait till the offseason to get rid of fucking Ryan Pace. But no, sir. Matt Nagy cannot be a coach one more day longer in Chicago. I don't fucking like him. I don't think half the people that are Bears fans like him. In my opinion, he is one of the most hated people in Chicago, up there with Cody Parkey. Hate the man. He is not good at his job. He hasn't been good at his job, and he needs to go. See you guys next time.